and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, October 17th. We begin with the Delphi Murders case. Today, Special Judge Frances Gull is hearing a motion from prosecutors asking to prohibit the jury from seeing police sketches in the Delphi Murders trial. The sketches in question were used by investigators prior to Richard Allen's arrest. Prosecutors say the sketches are not relevant and may confuse or mislead jurors. Judge Gull is set to travel to Carroll County in the coming hours to swear in the jury. Back in Indy, a woman is dead after being shot outside a hotel. It happened yesterday on the city's southwest side. Police were called just after 9 last night to the Red Roof Inn on South Lyndhurst Drive. That's just off of I-70. Officers say there were reports of a disturbance in the parking lot. It was there where they found a woman dead. They don't believe the victim was staying at the hotel. If you have any information that may help investigators, you can leave a tip anonymously with Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. On to Your Vote 2024. As you give money towards your political candidates of choice, you should be looking into where your money is going. ITMate's Tim Spears reports.
Just because you're paying to see a candidate take the stage does not mean your money is going to that campaign. A group that's hosted and advocated for prominent Indiana Republicans is clarifying it's not a political action committee after one Hoosier felt he was ripped off.
Well, if they're not registered, then where is the money? Like, where's the money going? There's money coming in, so where's it going out?
Ben Dallas was surprised to learn his $25 did not go to local school board candidates.
The point was to raise money for these 3 candidates running for school board. So they all gave stump speeches and so on.
He paid to get into this event, hosted by Indiana Call to Action. So it was your understanding that the money you were paying for a ticket was going to the candidates?
That's what I assumed.
How would you feel if you found out that they actually weren't giving this money to the candidates?
I would feel ripped off.
Call to Action has hosted events with local, state, and federal Republicans, including Representative Jim Banks, former Attorney General Curtis Hill, and current Attorney General Todd Rokita. Now, its website has a disclaimer saying it is not a political action committee and does not contribute to political candidates.
Only after I questioned them, they then changed their website.
Clifton French, who runs a conservative news site, was a featured speaker at the event Dallas paid to see. French now believes, despite Call to Action's disclaimer, it is acting as a political action committee, even if it's not registered as one. Take this August 2023 event with Congressman Banks, who's running for Senate. A poster for the event has a Jim Banks for Senate logo. Seems to endorse him as the only true conservative running for Indiana's U.S. Senate seat and includes a link to his campaign website, even though the invite notes admission only covers expenses for the event. What made you start questioning how it was being ran?
Well, they started pushing candidates.
Indiana law generally defines a political action committee as an organization trying to influence an election or ballot question and accepts or spends more than $100 to do that. The federal threshold is $1,000. Indiana Call to Action is not a registered PAC, nonprofit, or business with the Indiana Secretary of State's office, describing itself as a grassroots organization.
I find that it's always helpful to dig carefully into the fine print of what a group claims they are and what they claim to be doing.
Andrew Mayerson is a committee's researcher with Open Secrets, a nonprofit tracking money in U.S. politics.
There's a very broad spectrum of groups out there that are doing some kind of activities that might be considered political by an ordinary person that may or may not trigger disclosure requirements.
A political action committee registered in Indiana has to file a CFA 4, which is available to everyone to read, detailing every dollar collected, including who it's from and how it's spent. When groups are not registered as a PAC, we don't know who's funding them or how they use their money to influence politics.
To have an accurate picture of who's influencing your elections, who has the ear of your politicians, and so forth, you ultimately need to know whose checks are they accepting.
And when that's not happening, French worries people may be getting tricked into handing over cash that never goes to a campaign.
I absolutely believe that people who were going to them thought that they were donating to campaigns. 100%.
If a group claims they're raising money for candidates, or they appear to be, that group should be registered with the Federal Election Commission or the Secretary of State's office. Tim Spears for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
An update out of Avon. Police have released the name of an Avon middle school student killed in a weekend crash. Braxton Garvin was 12 years old. Investigators say he was riding his bike with a friend Sunday when a car or truck hit him. It happened on US 36. Avon police say the driver stayed on scene and cooperated with officers. There's no immediate word if the driver could face charges. Let's talk sports. The Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood has a new basketball court through a new initiative by the Pacers Foundation. Most of the team's biggest stars helped in the ribbon cutting for the court and the State of Play initiative. The foundation says it will be one of many basketball court revitalizations.
Kids get to pretend to be their heroes, the players that inspire them. They drop back for the long three and pretend the clock's counting down. They do that no-look pass thinking they're going to be on the highlight reel. But the other thing that happens is they get to learn a lot about who they actually are. They be a part of a team. They see what it's like to celebrate victory and also to bounce back after the defeats.
The Pacers Foundation plans to revitalize up to 20 courts across the state over the next 10 years. Let's talk Fever. Another accolade for Caitlin Clark, the Fever star and WNBA Rookie of the Year, is also a member of the All-WNBA First Team. Clark is the first rookie to receive the honor since 2008. She's also only the second Fever player to be First Team All-League, joining Hall of Famer Tamika Catchings. Catchings earned the distinction 7 times during her career. And we wrap things up today with weather. Storm Track 8 says we're in for a sunny and cool day. Meteorologist Drew Narsutis has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
It won't be quite as cold over the next few mornings, so maybe breath might not be visible for another week or so here, at least in downtown Indy. So let's take a look at a forecast outside where, again, if you're in a more rural part of our region, you might see frost once again sneak into your forecast tomorrow in the morning hours. But you, Indy Cam, likely showing plenty of sunshine here and plenty of sunshine all across the state. As a result of all that sunshine, we are at about 50 degrees right now and not too much really going on. I'm starting to think the Columbus thermometer out there at the airport is a little goofed up because I doubt they're at 39 at this hour. Maybe they are, but just looks a little funky to me as everybody else is right around that 50-degree mark, give or take a few degrees. The entire state looking at sunny conditions, and we're also looking at any sort of early morning fog, which was around in a few communities off towards the northeast, fading towards that sunshine and 60s in the afternoon hours. Now, we will, again, cool down as we clear out moving into tonight. However, I think we'll have just enough of a southerly breeze to keep things around the 39-degree mark here in Indianapolis, unlike this morning where we dropped to 36 and some patchy frost was around. I think that the widespread frost from what we saw in the forecast this morning won't be so widespread tomorrow, but it might still be around, and then we are going to keep an eye out for chances of sunshine, hopefully warming us up into the 70s and 5 to 10 degrees above average for this time of year by the weekend and beyond. We'll talk more coming up.
To get a peek at Drew's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, October 17th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.